Welcome back, and today we're going to be looking at the PSP, probably the greatest handheld of my generation. So without further ado, let's get started. So for PSP, the emulator we're going to be getting from Obtainium is PPSSPP, which is a bit of a mouthful to say. So we're going to go to Obtainium, we're going to scroll down, and we are looking for, there it is, PPSSPP. We'll give that an install. And we're also going to grab, if you don't have it already, if you scroll down to Utilities, we are looking for CHDroid. What this is going to do is if you have ISO files, which are the rips of the UMD images, this is going to convert them to CHD files. We did cover this in our PS1 and PS2 tutorials. This is going to work the exact same way. It's going to save space, it's going to give you a much better file, and PPSSPP can read them. So I've already got that installed, so I'm just going to add it to my home screen for convenience sake. So I've also got myself a game. I've got God of War Ghost of Sparta. So I'm going to go to my ROMs folder. I'm going to go to my PSP folder. I'm going to press and hold on this, and then I'm going to press my three dots and extract it. Then I'm going to press and hold, I'm going to cut, I'm going to paste. There we are. So this is the ISO version, it's 1.63 gig. We'll boot this one up once we've set up PPSSPP, and then I'll show you how to compress it and save a lot of space. So we'll boot up PPSSPP. At first it's going to ask you to create or choose a PSP folder. We are going to create one. So I'm going to create one on my root storage, and I'm going to call it PPSSPP. There we are. So that's going to save all your save data as well as the game data and any other extra files that it downloads or installs. So first things first, we're going to head into settings. So we see we've got our navigation down the side. So we're just going to quickly work through these menus. So our back end is Vulkan, which is what we want. For rendering resolution, I advise setting this to 4 times for 1080p. You can set render duplicate frames to 60 Hz. This can make some frame rates feel a little bit smoother. I also advise using the GPU texture upscaler. This can also help make things look a bit smoother. So I'll just try the text 2x BRZ, and that's it for graphics. So we'll go to controls, we're going to map our controls. So most of these should be okay, with the exception of our face buttons. So we'll just delete those 4 keys for face buttons, and then we'll just map them to the matching positions on the PlayStation controller. What I also like to do is, as the PSP just had 2 shoulder buttons, by default they're mapped to your L1 and R1. However, you can map duplicate keys. So I'm going to map L2 and R2. So if I press either of those, it's going to treat it as though it's an L, as though it's an R. This just gives you the option depending on what you're most comfortable with. As much as I love the AYN Thor, the triggers are not the comfiest, but some games you play like racing games, it's much better to have a trigger. Now for our hotkeys, so by default fast forward was already set to R2. I'm going to tick allow combo mappings, and then I'm going to add my usual hotkey, which is holding select and pressing the right trigger. So you can see there that if I do that, it will enable fast forward. We're going to disable the on-screen touch controls because obviously we don't need them. And that's it for controls. Audio and networking we're going to leave for now. I will be covering networking in future videos once I've been able to test it a little bit more myself. For tools, I'm going to enable my RetroAchievements. So I'm just going to sign in as I always do. So there we go, so I'm logged in. So I've got my achievements enabled, my hardcore mode, and sound effects. If we go to customize, you can actually customize the sound effect, which is always nice. So that's it for settings. So we're just going to go to this browse option, and we're going to look for our ROMs folder. There it is. We're going to use that folder. You can see we've got Ghost of Sparta, so let's load it up. So it's booted right away, and if I do my fast forward, so we're in the game, so if I just quickly boot into a new game. So now we're in the game and it runs flawlessly, and you can see our frames are good, our temperature's good. And obviously because I've set my shoulder buttons and triggers to be the exact same, I can mash either of those when the prompt comes up. So there we are. So now we'll look at saving some space. So we're going to press our back button, and from here we can exit. So now if we head over to CHDroid, we are going to add, and we're going to add our PSP folder. There we are, so it's found our ISO, so we're going to just press convert. So we're going to, where it says CD type, for PSP we're going to change this to DVD type. As it says there, DVD type best for PSP, and then we're just going to start. So there we go, that's all converted. It took about 2 minutes or so, didn't take long at all. We're going to head back into PPSSPP. I'm going to go to games, we'll just hit our little refresh, so we can see, it should be this one actually, I think. Yeah, so we can see it's 1.13 gig now. We can see it's the CHC version, so if we just boot this up, we can see boots perfectly, and if we look side by side at how much space we've saved 500 megabytes, so obviously over time that will all add up. And that's all for setting up the PSP emulation on the AYN Thor. If you like this video or it helped you out, I'd appreciate a like and a subscribe. I've got tons more videos about the AYN Thor, whether that's front ends, emulators, any little apps I find, all sorts of great stuff in the coming months. So make sure you're subscribed. If you've got any questions or feedback, please drop a comment below, and I will see you next time.